Hey guys, it's Brandon. Have a treat today. I'm going to be doing a dual commentary with my good friend Christof, who is better known as ChessExplained. I'm just going to let him know I'm ready here. And we're going to play a 15-minute game. And I'm going to have the black pieces apparently, so this isn't going to be good. I'm going to try to stay on the board here, but of course, Christof, for those of you who don't know him, and most of you probably do, because most of you are probably here out of morbid curiosity, because he's also doing commentary and you found it on his channel. But he's expecting to get his international master title in just a couple months. And he's a very, very strong chess player and a very, very nice guy. And he's helped me a lot with learning the game over the last number of months. And okay, so he opened e4. So I'm not sure if I should play the Sicilian, a French. Maybe I should try to stay on the board with something solid like a Caro-Kann. I'll try to stay on the board with the French. How about that? So this is going to be I haven't played the French in a while. So I'm not sure which variation I'm going to get. Moves for white here: knight c3, knight bd2. Yeah. Okay, so he's inviting me to play the winnower with bishop b4, but that gets kind of sharp for me. And I don't really want to give up the bishop pair, so I think I'll play the classical French. Now he can push with e5. He could play bishop to g5. That's a move. And after bishop g5, I think I'm supposed to take the pawn on d4. So with the move bishop g5, okay, so he's playing the advance. Now I have to go here, and oh, he's played f4. Okay. Well, I think I'm supposed to just strike at the center pretty quickly here with these kinds of moves, sort of just attacking the center. He won't be able to maintain a pawn here on d4 because he already has his knight on c3, so he can't play c3. So maybe I can later attack the center again with something like f6. If I take now, he'll take with the knight. Then if I play knight takes, maybe I can try to relieve some of my space cramp here with takes, knight takes, bishop takes, bishop c5. I'm not sure if that's a possibility. Takes, knight takes, knight takes. Maybe he plays queen takes, but if he does, then I'll definitely have bishop c5. I think I should take here. And maybe later I can play for f6. Let's see, knight takes, bishop c5, bishop c5, knight c5. Bishop c5, knight c5, bishop b5 check, bishop d7. Should be okay. Maybe I'm making a horrible error. But I'm going to try to relieve some cramp here in space. Well, if I take the bishop now, he has to play queen takes, and that forces him to lose a tempo. Or is there something else he can play? And is he planning to castle queenside? Let's see, bishop takes, queen takes, castles. He might play knight to b5, trying to get into this d6 square. What if I play bishop takes, queen takes, and then a6 to try to stop knight b5? Can I just play a6 now? Keep the tension between the bishops? He has nowhere really for the bishop to go. And if I do trade bishops, I'll be giving up my good bishop for his bad one, so to speak. I don't know if he has any real threats right now. I'm just going to play a6 to stop this knight from coming into b5 and then into d6, which is a big hole in my position, which I will have a lot of trouble getting the knight out of d6 if I give up this dark square bishop. So moves I'm planning now will be castles and then f6 to try to challenge the center, hopefully before he can get the move f5 in. Or I could play for f5 and just blockade the king side. But if he goes queen side, if I play f5, he'll have a very quick play with g4. Rook g1, g4. Oh. This I wasn't expecting. Does he want to put his bishop on g2? Or maybe his idea is to put his bishop on h3 to try to prepare the move f5. That could be an idea. He still hasn't castled, and okay, I'm falling a little bit behind on the clock here. If I castle, bishop h3, bishop takes, queen takes, I still need to do something with this knight. f6. f6. Maybe I can get away with that. I need to strike at his center somehow here. That's one thing I definitely need to do. And let's see, bishop takes, queen takes, f6. Oh, okay, he just put his bishop on the long diagonal. I'm not sure what it's doing there, unless he's going to play for c4 later to try to open it up on this diagonal. I thought maybe it would come to h3. Okay, so bishop takes, queen takes, f6. And if he takes, then I'll play knight takes f6. And if he doesn't take, then I'll play pawn takes f6, pawn takes f6. He still has a space advantage, but I'll have the open f-file. I'll have the open f-file, and he won't be able to play for f5 so easily because, well, he won't have an f-pawn. So what about that? And I'll play f6. His king is still in the center. And if he doesn't take, maybe if I just keep the tension, I can even play queen b6 to try to trade queens. I don't think he'll do that, but maybe he'll have trouble holding on to queens because I'll be attacking the b pawn. So queen b6 is a move to think about. And okay, maybe you'll say I'm being a little dull and not really going for it. But again, I have the black pieces versus a soon-to-be international master. So I hope you won't judge me too hard for not going for the throat here. So, oh, he decided to take. I guess he wants to be able to play f5 still. Should I take with the queen and offer a queen exchange? Or should I take with the knight, give myself some space, and have room for the bishop to come out on d7? or take with the rook. If I play queen takes f6, he'll retreat his queen most likely. And then where am I going with the knight? Like if he goes, say, queen to e3, what's my knight doing? So I guess I'll take with the knight. Maybe I can break with e5 if he keeps his king in the center too much longer. He does have good control over the e4 square, and I think it's much too dangerous for him to play for f5 right away. His king is still in the center. Okay, he went kingside. So maybe he can still play for f5 at some point. Let's see, is there anything to knight to g4? Knight g4. I don't know. I have given up the e5 square, so one plan for him could be to get a piece onto e5 and try to target this weak pawn on e4. So maybe a move like, maybe I should try to play e5 as soon as possible. Because he's going to be able, normally this pawn would be sort of solid because of this bishop guarding it, but in this variation he's going to be able to bring his rook to h3, his bishop to h3 and put further pressure on the pawn. And I'm not really going to be able to play, actually I'm not really going to be able to play e5 because he has d5 so thoroughly controlled. But on the other hand, his king is a little open. So maybe some moves for me could be something like rook to c7, in which case I put my rook on an open file. I could bring it to c4, attacking the queen. Maybe it's not particularly safe there, but attacking the queen, maybe doubling on the c file when I get my queen out of the way. Also, at some point, I could think about playing the rook to c6 to try to guard the e6 square laterally, and then maybe rook to e1. I mean, I'm definitely not as good in this position. He's definitely got the better position out of the opening. I'm just going to try to stay solid here and try to hold my e6 point. I'm just expecting him to play a plan of piling up on the e6 point and the e5 pawn. So the e6 pawn, the e5 hole. So yeah, here it comes. I think I'll play a move like rook c8 now, maybe rook c4, just to gain a tempo and get my rook active, and then if need be. Let's see, if I play rook c8, he'll probably play bishop h3. Rook e8. And then he'll probably double on... Oh, this is a surprise for me. I guess he just wants to stop me from coming to... guess he's trying to stop me from coming to c4 here. I really thought he would play bishop h3. Okay, what about queen c7? Queen c7, and I'll try to play queen to c5 to trade off queens, because his queen is very active and mine isn't really doing anything. Let's see, queen c7. It also adds some pressure to the c2 point. So because the queen is on the same diagonal as the king, maybe I can trade off queens here. No, I guess he didn't care about me playing bishop to d3. I mean bishop to c4, rook to c4. He just wanted to get his bishop on this diagonal. It's an aggressive post for the bishop. He's not challenging me on the e5 point with that move. But let's see, queen c5, queen takes, rook takes. Should be okay. He doesn't have. So I'm taking advantage of the fact that the queen is pinned and thus cannot retreat, because the king is on g1. So he exchanged pretty quickly. So I guess he had this move figured. Maybe he can play for f5. I'm not sure. Maybe he has to. I don't know. I think I'm doing okay in the opening here. Maybe I can even get some counterplay. No, not anymore, because the bishop is guarding this pawn here. Okay, where's this knight coming? Probably it's coming into d5. Maybe he wants to play f5. f5, and try to drum up some play with f5. I could try. I could try to exchange my bad bishop for his good bishop, and at the same time get some play on b2. Yeah, what about or on the c file? What about bishop to c5? Bishop takes, rook takes, knight d4, rook takes b2, knight d4, rook takes b2, rook takes, knight takes e5, yeah, e6. So, okay, wait. Yeah, so he's going to try to get pressure on e6 with knight on d4. So, let's see, bishop to a5, bishop takes a5, rook takes a5, knight d4, rook takes b2, knight takes e6. Rooks. I'm not sure. I really don't know what's going on in that position. Maybe my center's falling to pieces, but I think I can get some. Maybe I can get some counterplay on his queen side. So if bishop takes, rook takes. Oh, he just went into d4 right away. Let's see. If I play bishop takes, he plays knight takes e6. Knight takes e6, but then rook takes c2, knight takes f1. It's two pieces on a pawn for a rook, so I don't think that's good. What can he do better? Oh boy, I'm really low on time here. Knight takes e6. I guess his idea is if I take, he takes, and I can't really protect. I can't really protect e6, which is true, but maybe I can get some counterplay with my rook on the 7th with a move like knight, rook, bishop, rook, knight takes, rook on the 7th, knight takes e6, rook c here, My center's probably falling apart, but maybe I can get some play on the 7th rank. Also, if he... I don't know. I'm going to take the bishop. I think... Oh, man, the problem is... Okay. The problem here is I can't even get to the 7th because my knight is... The knight is just so nicely placed, it's stopping really any counterplay. So e6 falls because he plays rook takes e6. Let's see, knight takes e6. Okay, if he plays rook takes e6, knight takes... Maybe this is my only chance here. I've also got just way less time. So if he plays rook takes, then rook takes, knight takes, and then I'll try to get my rook onto the 7th. And maybe just try to get some... I mean, I'm a pawn down, but I have my rook on the 7th. Maybe I can get some play that way. If he plays knight takes e6, then I'm just going to play rook to c2, knight d4. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm sure there's just not enough play for the pawn here. But plus, I mean, he's really going to quite easily win on time. Okay, but you know, black pieces against Chess Explained. I think I'm acquitting myself all right here. Maybe I get some play later with knight g4. If he does this capturing on e6 idea, if he doesn't capture on e6, instead he could just play something simple like, well, if he tries to challenge me on the c file, I think I have just enough time to... Oh, he just wants to double now? Okay, if he plays doubling, I can still try to get maybe, let's see, king f7, rook to here. Yeah. I won't really be able to, because he can just play knight takes now, and I can't really hang on to the pawn. I guess I can sack the exchange by playing, but I'll have absolutely no play. Yeah, I don't really see a way for me to hang on here. And I only have 30 seconds, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess this pawn is just going to fall. So what can I do? Knight g4 takes. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. All right, I'll just play some random moves. Whatever. I have 20 seconds left. He's just going to play a3. Yeah. I'll just go back here. He's going to take with the knight. And it's going to be bad news because I can't get in on the 7th rank here. Yeah. Okay, maybe I can just trade a rook or something. I mean, oh, come on. I just totally blundered here. Another pawn. I can't move my knight away from defense of the rook. So I'm really down 2 pawns here. With really no counterplay to speak of. I can get my rook to the 7th now, but I mean, what good is it going to do me? And he just gets his knight back there to stop me from coming in on the 7th. So I'm just 2 pawns down for absolutely no compensation, and I'm running out of time. So, okay, an interesting game. I thought I held on okay. for a while there. I just couldn't. I didn't find an accurate defensive plan for the e6 point. I guess maybe this idea of the bishop here was just too. Maybe I really needed that bishop to hang on to the e6 point, because after knight d4, I'm just really having a lot of trouble. And he just restricted all of my counterplay. I was hoping I could get a little counterplay on the c-file, but there was really nothing. So okay, an interesting game. To sum it up, just a French defense. He played f4 after I played the classical, and I managed to get some trades in, and I think my position was okay here. Worse, but okay. I guess I played the wrong plan with trying to exchange light square bishops because my e6 pawn was just too weak. So interesting game. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed his commentary as well. And I will see you next time.